Imagine this for a second. What if LeBron James, the most iconic player of this generation, teamed up with Stephen Curry, the greatest shooter the NBA has ever seen, in a Golden State Warriors jersey? That question alone has been shaking conversations in the NBA world over the past weeks. Fans are debating endlessly, analysts are running through scenarios, and the idea of two legends joining forces is fueling one of the biggest trade rumors in recent history. But behind the excitement lies a reality that is far more complicated than it looks, and today, we're going to dive deep into the full story, the context, the challenges, and the possibilities. LeBron James has been the face of the Lakers since 2018, winning a championship in the bubble and keeping the purple and gold relevant every season. But as he moves into his 40s, the pressure to maximize his final years has grown bigger. On the other side, the Golden State Warriors are facing their own reality. Stephen Curry is still elite, still a top 10 player, but he is also aging. The dynasty that dominated the 2010s is no longer the unstoppable force it once was, and management is under pressure to give Curry one last chance at another title. That is where this idea of LeBron joining the Warriors started to spread. The thought of Curry and LeBron playing together is not just fascinating, it's historic. Imagine the playmaking, the shooting, the spacing. Defenses would collapse trying to handle that duo. Social media went crazy as soon as reports hinted at even the smallest possibility. But here's the problem. The Los Angeles Lakers have no interest in letting LeBron go. For the Lakers, LeBron is not just a player. He is a brand, a superstar who fills arenas, boosts merchandise sales, attracts sponsors, and has a say in almost every roster decision. Trading LeBron would not just be about losing a player, it would mean losing a global icon. That is why, every time the Warriors are mentioned, the answer from Lakers management is quick and simple: non-starter. Even beyond the Lakers' refusal, the financial side makes this dream nearly impossible. NBA salary rules are strict. Teams need to match contracts in trades, and with LeBron's massive salary plus the Warriors already deep in luxury tax, making numbers align is almost like solving a puzzle with missing pieces. Jonathan Kuminga's new restricted free agency makes things even harder. Golden State cannot just throw him into a deal without considering long-term effects. And even if they offered Kuminga, Draymond Green, and a mix of picks, would that be enough to convince the Lakers? Most experts agree it wouldn't. Then comes the most powerful factor, LeBron's no-trade clause. Very few players in NBA history have had this kind of control, and LeBron holds it tightly. It means he cannot be traded unless he personally agrees. Every deal needs his signature. That gives him all the power to say yes or no, and so far, LeBron has given no indication that. Every deal needs his signature. That gives him all the power to say yes or no, and so far, LeBron has given no indication that he wants to leave Los Angeles. Yes, there have been whispers about his admiration for Curry and his friendship with Draymond, but admiration is not the same as intention. Rich Paul, his agent, has also been cautious, neither confirming nor denying any talks, which keeps the rumor alive but unresolved. The Lakers are motivated to keep LeBron because they still believe they can contend. They're betting on Anthony Davis staying healthy, new pieces stepping up, and LeBron continuing to play at a high level even into his 40s. For the Warriors, on the other hand, the motivation is different. Their window with Curry is shrinking, and front office pressure is building. A partnership with LeBron could reignite a dynasty, creating one of the most dangerous combinations basketball has ever seen. But short-term success might destroy long-term stability. They would risk losing their young core, their future picks, and maybe face an even steeper rebuild when both Curry and LeBron retire. Now think about timing. LeBron is already 41. Every season counts. For Golden State, waiting too long means Curry's prime fully fades. For the Lakers, giving up LeBron now could be seen as surrender. That is why summer 2026 keeps coming up in these conversations. That could be the moment when LeBron is at the end of his contract. The Lakers have to make a choice: and the Warriors might be able to negotiate a sign-and trade rather than a mid-season blockbuster. The truth is, if it ever happened, it would change basketball forever. LeBron and Curry would not just be teammates, they would become the most iconic duo in the sport's history, joining forces after years of rivalry. The rings, the records, the storylines, it would be bigger than anything the NBA has seen since Magic and Bird or Jordan and Pippen. But as exciting as it sounds, it remains a fantasy for now, because the roadblocks are massive. Fans, however, live for these dreams. The memes, the fake lineups, the what-if debates, they keep the NBA alive even in the off-season. That's what makes this rumor so powerful. Even if it never becomes reality, it fuels conversations, passion, and excitement. And sometimes, in sports, the dream is more powerful than the reality. So, is LeBron James really going to Golden State? Today, the answer is almost certainly no. The Lakers won't allow it, the finances don't work, and LeBron hasn't asked for it. But the very idea of it keeps us watching, keeps us hoping, keeps us wondering. And as long as there's even a tiny possibility, this story will never die. The Golden State Warriors have lived many basketball lives. They were once the laughingstock of the league, then rose to become the most dominant dynasty of the modern era, led by the iconic shooting brilliance of Stephen Curry. Alongside Klay Thompson and Draymond Green, Curry's Warriors forever changed the way the game is played. But now, with Curry at 37 years old, the question looms, how much longer can this dynasty last? For years, Warriors fans have dreamed of the ultimate partnership, pairing Stephen Curry with Giannis Antetokounmpo, the unstoppable Greek freak. A combination of shooting genius and physical dominance that could terrorize the league for years. Rumors have circulated, hopes have been raised, and speculation has been endless. Yet, as of August 2025, the dream seems further away than ever. Part 1, The Rise of Giannis. To understand why the Warriors chased this dream, we must first revisit the rise of Giannis. Drafted 15th overall in 2013, he entered the league as a skinny teenager from Greece. Nobody could have predicted what he would become. Over a decade later, Giannis is a two-time MVP, a Finals MVP, a Defensive Player of the Year, and the centerpiece of the Milwaukee Bucks' 2021 championship run. He became the face of a small-market team, proving loyalty still had a place in a league dominated by big markets. For the Warriors, Giannis represented more than just talent, he represented the perfect bridge. A superstar in his prime who could extend Golden State's dynasty, carry the load when Curry slowed down, and keep the Bay Area relevant long after the Splash Brothers era. Part 2, The Warriors' Window Closing. Meanwhile, the Warriors have been grappling with reality. Curry, though still brilliant, is no longer in his 20s. Injuries have slowed Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green's temper has often overshadowed his contributions. The team's once feared bench depth has thinned. Jonathan Kuminga, a young forward bursting with athleticism, has been one of the few bright spots. Warriors management has been reluctant to trade him, even when offers came in. Why? Because they believed he could be the centerpiece of a future blockbuster deal. Perhaps the deal that would bring Giannis to San Francisco. Part 3, The Bucks Say No. But dreams often collide with reality. Houston Rockets GM Rafael Stone revealed in an interview that the Bucks were not listening to any trade offers for Giannis. He described conversations with Bucks GM John Horst, who made it clear, Giannis is off the table. No offers, no negotiations, no possibility. This was devastating news for teams like the Warriors, who had carefully held on to their assets for the day the Bucks finally opened the door. Giannis had not requested a trade, and Milwaukee showed no signs of losing faith in their superstar. Part 4, The Media Speculation. Veteran journalist Tim Kawakami added fuel to the fire earlier in the summer. He explained that the Warriors were holding back on trading Kuminga for lesser value, precisely because of the possibility of a Giannis deal. If Milwaukee ever decided to move on, Kuminga could be the type of young, explosive forward they'd want in return. Fans took Kawakami's words as a hint, the Warriors weren't just dreaming, they were preparing. Yet, even Kawakami admitted that uncertainty surrounded Giannis. He might stay loyal to Milwaukee forever. Or, if he left, he might choose another team entirely. Part 5, Why Giannis to Warriors makes sense. On paper, the pairing is irresistible. Giannis thrives in open space, dominating in the paint and on fast breaks. Curry thrives with shooters around him and big men who can protect the rim. Together, they would form a devastating inside-outside duo, forcing defenses into impossible choices. Warriors fans imagined the pick-and-roll nightmare, Curry drawing defenders out to 30 feet, Giannis rolling to the rim like a freight train. They imagined Giannis taking over games when Curry rests, ensuring the dynasty never collapses. Part 6, Why It's Nearly Impossible. But reality bites hard. The Bucks are loyal to Giannis, and Giannis has been loyal to them. His contract, his family roots in Milwaukee, and his identity as the face of the franchise make a trade unlikely.